Hello, it's Jean again. Here's another fun little kit. In this kit comes a spool, a wooden spool with film strip wrapped around it. I didn't want to tape it, so it's got a little ponytail, just an added extra thing there. So my intentions with this are, there's multiple things you can do with it. So we have some bits of pieces of paper and fabric, some trims, some yarns, just all kinds of things. So kind of we can do the cluster. We can do the strips, kind of like a snippet roll. Now I will say that if you put papers on here and you go much over the film strip, that it fits kind of snug in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this off right now. I did tape it there because it kept sliding. So what we'll do is we'll figure out how much we need. Say we're just going to put it on the edge of a book or on the edge of a book page or use it for a belly band. We'll start there, okay? So we're just going to cut this off right here. And we'll set each kit comes with about 2 yards. And I don't measure well. I measure over well. So what I'm going to do, and this is really, I don't know what the movie is, that this one, it's a trailer, and I couldn't tell you, but there's a person right there. So we'll move the bag out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it just like a plain old snippet. And I'm going to use the worst scissors I have for fabric, evidently. I'm keeping my pieces kind of small because I don't want it to be too big and bulky and hanging out the sides too crazy amount. I don't know if another pair of scissors are going to cut fabric any better or not. Probably not. Paper can easily be torn. And again, it's totally up to you. Maybe I want to use that one long. So let's just get started. This is 2 pieces of fabric here. So we'll take this one. We'll start with this one. And you could glue it. You could put a little dots of glue and then come back and do something else with it. I've not tried it running it through the sewing machine. And I think it would probably be okay, other than maybe slipping on your feed dogs. And if that's the case, you could always, put tissue paper on it. But then you got to either pull the tissue paper off or leave the paper on there. And the whole idea and the concept, I think, is having it on the film strip. That's my opinion. So let's just put this on here. And I grabbed all 3 of my little staplers so I can make sure that if I run out of staples, I'm okay. And well, I think this one's kind of cool. I'm going to put it off to the side a little bit. And you can always put 2 or 3 pieces down before you staple it. And how far you want to staple it, how tight you want to staple it, that's totally up to you on what you prefer. Maybe you want them kind of loose. Maybe you want them where you can snip them off and pull them. Another thing that can be done is after you get these on, if you're not happy with that and you don't want all those staples, then just add a little bit of glue. And I just broke that one right off. Nope, I never even picked it up. So let's just add a little bit of glue to that one. It's not going to hurt the stapler. Let's put it on top so we know it's stuck. I'll just add a staple right there. And let's put that one. I've got a pink thing going on here. And if you're not wearing it or having a lot of wear on it, you can pretty much get by with just a few staples and a little dab of glue hit and miss. And the glue is just, it's just a choice. It's however you feel comfortable putting them together. But when I attach it to the film strip, I tend to use the stapler because I just don't know how well it's going to glue to the film. I have tried a little bit and it's stuck. How's it going to stay out for a while? I don't know. You can keep adding, and maybe you want to put some trim on the top. Maybe you want to put the trim where it covers the staples, and you can easily use your glue stick if you're comfortable with that, or you can use just some white glue. Kind of lost my train of thought there for a minute. Let's just add a little frou-frou to this. Stuck to my fingers. My fingers are still sticky from the last project. So of course you want to let that dry before you do too much moving with it. And you can always, you know, if you want some dimension, take some lace and scrunch it up and make your little flower cluster thing. So the sky's the limit, however you want to do it. But it takes so little time and so little materials that you should be able to come up with something really cool in just a matter of a few minutes, probably. And like I said, you can always go back and add other things to it after you've got some kind of a base on there. And once I have enough on there, and you can always leave pieces of your film strip showing because I think that's just as cool too. So I think when I cut this, I thought maybe I'd use it full, but I don't think so. And maybe you've you know, you want some more stuff on top, but you don't want a bunch of bulk, or so maybe make some little, just cut some little shapes or punch out some little shapes, and you can just add them on as you go. No, see, my fingers are sticky. Now there's probably not enough glue to get it to hold. I almost prefer my glue stick even over this. And I kind of want that to curve up and be a little bit bulky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and get the stapler, and I'm going to staple it right there. Then I'm going to curve it around here and kind of give it a little bit of a ruffle and put another staple in there. See, I think the staples look cool in there, and I have colored staples in my staplers. So even so, you can do that. You can put a crisscross in it and it makes it all blend in better, like it's part of the design. And I think that's pretty cool. So now my staples are X's. So that was my original plan, and you can embellish these. As you can tell, there's lots and lots of fibers, and you can easily take something, say you wanted to just kind of finish it all out and have one consecutive thing in there. You could take your yarn or something and, you know, glue it on like that. Of course, a little bit better than that, but you get the idea. There is, in this one, there's a little piece of vintage linen, so we might as well put that on here as I chew it up with my scissors. That's what it really feels like. So I think I'm going to come under here. No, I'll come under there. There we go. And put a staple. Let's go ahead and staple that one. And I am going at an angle so that when I pick up the other stapler, I can make a cross, and I have different colored staples. Not the same color for each cross, or X, or however you want to do it. So there we go. And you can just keep embellishing it till you are completely happy with it. Now, if you have in your mind to put it back on here, you might want to like maybe take a couple strips of fabric and wrap around it first to kind of build it out a little bit, because when you start with this, as you can see, it's kind of a, you know, a messy fit, but it works. And aren't snippet rolls supposed to be kind of messy and fun? So that was the intention of the kit, is that you can make a snippet roll. That's why you got enough film strip. But it's also something else you can do, and I thought this was pretty fun. You can make your little clusters just with a smaller piece. So we'll whip one of these out real quick. I don't know why I keep grabbing that gray. And I think I'm just going to use these little bits of lace because I love how that looks on the film strip. Right there. Get back there. And I'm going to snip a little bit of that because it's plenty long. And let's snip this in half. This could, if you was thinking about it, you kind of have, you could have a vintage film night, you know? You got the lace and film strip, I don't know. Vintage women, vintage film night, I don't know. But I think it would go in a lot of different things, really fun. So that's pretty simple. And I kind of like it just like this. Maybe you want to, you know, add a piece of something like this at the, kind of to give it some more layers. I kind of like that. I kind of don't want the staple to show in it. So we're going to glue it. We're going to fight the glue as normal. And I spill it all over the place. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some glue on there like that, and put this little piece back on there too. So we got lots and lots of layers. And maybe dig out an old button or something to put on there. And I think that would be really cool. Now we know this is going to hold up for just a few minutes. And it's not going to even hold up that long because it wants to stick to my fingers. But you could easily turn this into a paper clip. And you could, okay, this side probably would have been better. You could have glued your paper clip in there on the inside before you started adding everything. And then you would have had a paper clip cluster. Yeah, it's not centered because I should have done it before I started everything. But yeah, that would be a fun little way to... I just stapled the paper clip in there. It worked just fine. So anyway, we all learn new things every day, right? So believe it or not, of all this stuff around here, there's no buttons. There is no buttons. I can't believe that. It's, you know, everything else. But no. Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, wait. One button. Yep. If I didn't have so much stuff. So let's take this one little button that I found. And let's go with the Fabri-Tac, because maybe it'll hold up faster. And I think I'll just put that right there. So there we go. We have a cute little cluster. If you wanted to add some color to it, you could put a little wad of yarn on it. You could add another button. You could add a bow. Here's another piece of lace. It's got a flower glued to it from another project. And maybe we want to just add one more little bit. Whoever said less is more? There we go. Now I like it. It was just kind of plain there. So there we go. A little cluster that you could just glue to something, or where I stapled the paper clip on it. Of course, I would probably want to glue it before I used it, but because it's all glued fresh, let's just let it dry and then we can glue the paper clip after. So that's just two things you could do with this. And I would love for you to share other things you did with your film strips, because I have lots and lots and lots and lots of film strip, and it will be available in future auctions for Defy. And it could possibly even show up in other kits. So with that, I'm going to call it a day, and I hope you all have a great evening. Bye-bye.